Thanks for tuning in on Brock Page, and if you want to save yourself some time, check out my picks for this video. In the description section below, once again, I'm not a sports betting expert, I'm just a fan. That said, let's get into some picks for the 21st. Purdue -9 at Penn State. Penn State's an impressive 71% against the spread at home. Even better, they cover a solid 75% going in the games as the official home underdog. They may not cover the 9, but I'm confident they cover 17. I'm putting Penn State and a teaser here. Give me the Nittany Lions plus 17 at home in my 3-team, 8-point sweetheart teaser number 1. Next game, Eastern Michigan plus 3 at Ball State. 81% of the money's on Ball State to cover, and I can't find a reason to go against the bettors. Against the spread, Eastern Michigan's 0-5 against teams winning 50 to 65% of their games. They failed to cover in their first matchup with Ball State. They also cover a pitiful 14% as the underdog. They cover just 16% as the official road underdog. Give me the Ball State men's basketball team at home against the points. I'm taking Ball State -3 in this one. Next game I have for you, Clemson plus 2 at Virginia Tech. The Clemson Tigers are just 25% against the spread as the underdog or pick'em. They're also just 33% as the official road underdog. They've also struggled to cover against good teams, covering just 4 of 11 against teams winning more than 65%. On the other side, Virginia Tech's an impressive 75% against the spread, facing teams winning 50 to 65% of their games. They also successfully covered the spread in their first matchup on the road at Clemson. All that said, I like them against the points here. I'm taking the Virginia Tech Hokies -2 at home to win against the spread. Next game I have for you, NC State plus 4 at Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech have covered 71% of their games overall. They're also a profoundly exceptional 86% against the spread at home. They also cover 75% of their games facing teams giving up more than 72 points a game. On the other side, NC State has been downright abysmal against the spread. They're 25% overall in all games. They cover a pitiful 14% on the road. They cover a pathetic 18% as the underdog, and they cover just 16% of their games as the official road underdog. They cover just 25% facing teams giving up less than 67 points a game. They failed to cover in their last 7 games, and they also failed to cover at home in their first matchup with Georgia Tech. All that said, no tricks needed here. I'm taking Georgia Tech -4 to win against the spread. Next matchup for you, Northwestern -1.5 at Illinois. Northwestern covers an impressive 71% on the road and 100% as the road favorite. Illinois has covered just 4 of 10 against teams winning over 65% of their games. All that said, I'm taking Northwestern in my teaser. Give me the Wildcats plus 6.5 in my 3-team teaser number 1. Next contest, Davidson plus 1 at Richmond. Now Davidson's 0-3 against the spread as the road underdog. They also cover just 33% against teams giving up more than 72 points a game. On the other side, Richmond covers a staggering 83% of their games against teams winning 50 to 65%. All that said, I like Richmond at home here. Just to be sure, I'm moving the line and taking Richmond +7 as the 3rd team in teaser number 1. Next matchup, Ole Miss plus 2.5 at Mississippi State. Ole Miss covers a solid 69% of their games overall. They also successfully covered in their first matchup with the Bulldogs. Speaking of which, Mississippi State covers just 33% of their games as the official home favorite. They also cover just 42% against teams giving up more than 72 points a game. All that said, I'm going to move the line and take Ole Miss plus 10.5 in teaser number 2. Next game, Kentucky -16.5 at MIZZOU. Now, Kentucky's been shaky against the points in a few categories. They're just 33% against the spread on the road and just 37% as the official road favorite. They also cover just 20% of their games against teams giving up 67 to 72 points a game. On the other side, Missouri's a staggering 80% against the spread as the official home underdog. Let's be sure they cover here. I like the Missouri Tigers in the adjusted line of plus 24.5 as the second game of teaser number 2. Next and final game, Colorado State plus 3 at New Mexico. Colorado State covers an impressive 75% overall in all their games. They're a solid 78% against the spread on the road. They cover a solid 75% of their games as the underdog. They're 100% at the current point spread. They also cover an impressive 75% as the official road underdog, and they're a staggering 80% against the spread facing teams giving up more than 72 a game. New Mexico covers just 28% at home. All told, I like the underdogs against the spread at plus 3. I'm going to throw these guys into the teaser as well. Give me Colorado State plus 11 in the third game of teaser number 2. Well, folks, that is going to do it for me. Once again, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. If for some reason you decide to use the information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Predictions and Sports Picks, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.